Passing his teammate at Ferrari, Sebastian Vettel, and since then has been dominant. Listen to this as he comes out of the right.
The gap behind with Bottas is fine. We should finish like this.
Even changing up gears because it's just losing that bit of energy.
Yeah, he's barely getting into 7th gear and then lifting off and coasting a long way into the corner as well. So he's now trying to drive around the issue. Probably Ferrari are trying to do it. Here we go.
The gap behind with Bottas is fine. We should finish like this.
Okay, there's no instruction. This is the same issue as Ricciardo in Monaco last year.
Yeah.
Very similar at least, and of course Ricciardo went on to win the race, but it's Monaco and you can make a very wide car on the very narrow streets. Here we've seen so much overtaking that it was never going to be possible to keep Hamilton behind, and now Bottas 22 seconds behind, 5 seconds quicker once again on that last lap. This has got a Mercedes 1-2 written all over it. Verstappen 6 seconds behind. Bottas is going to fancy a piece of the action as well. 8 laps to go, 21 seconds. It's going to be nip and tuck with Vettel down in 5th at the moment.
The MGUH is the part of the engine that takes heat from the turbo of the engine and regenerates it into hence motor generator unit, MGU, and then the H is for the heat, and that puts it back into power that the driver can use, and Leclerc ain't got it.
Follow the numbers on the dash.
Yeah, but I can't. Oh my god. I will try.
Feels like
Keep calm. We need the car home.
Yes, I will try. I'm keeping calm.
Copy.
feels like a dream for Charles Leclerc. Nightmare probably more aptly. Have you had a time in the car where you're like, I cannot believe this is happening? Spa qualifying?
Spa qualifying, yeah, I was very quick that weekend in 2017. On course for 7th on the...
Follow the numbers on the dash.
Yeah, but I can't. Oh my god. I will try.
And keep calm. We need the car home.
Yes, I will try. I'm keeping calm.
Copy.
And I had a gearbox problem, so I could believe it after the year I had. But this is, you know, you can't script this sort of thing. The young rookie, well, Ferrari rookie anyway, doing a great job all weekend. He's destroyed his 4-time world champion teammate Sebastian Vettel. He's done that perfect weekend. He's done great overtaking moves when he had to as well. And yeah, his race is getting away from him. He's on board with him. You can see he's trying to find some switches on the dash to see if he can make his life easier somehow. I don't know quite what that's going to be, but he's having a little scroll around.
38.0, target lap time 38.0, gap to go.
I can't. Leave it, I can't. Because by going so slow, we are spending a lot of time in the straights. So, very difficult to fuel save anything now.
Back of Bottas. Now Bottas has turned the wick up. Verstappen's about 6 or 7 seconds behind. Are we going to end up with Ferrari 4th and 5th again? What a turnaround that would be for the team that locked out the front row.
Indeed. Bottas, the engineers saying they're going to do it with 1 lap spare, but there's 15 seconds between them. It's now 12 seconds over the course of this lap already, and there's 6 laps still to go. So, just going to 5 laps still to go. So it's going to be comfortable for Bottas. I think that must have been a radio transmission from a while ago. And Bottas has been getting on the pace. Verstappen's trying to go with him as well. And this looks like it's going to be a Ferrari 4 and 5. There's no chance Leclerc, unless he can fix something quickly, which doesn't seem to be the case, is going to be able to hold on to this one.
Downshifts are very clunky. Very clunky.
Okay, copy.
But so many occasions. Here's Hamilton's radio.
Downshifts are very clunky. Very clunky.
Okay, copy.
Yeah, I mean, get the little violin out. I got clunky downshifts. Charles Leclerc's got no engine in his car now.
Yeah, Hamilton then now. You get the jitters when you're in first, and that's what I thought we had here so often. The driver that's comfortably leading saying, oh, I think I just heard something. I think I just felt something. And I know the feeling of winning a race near the end, and the only thing that can go wrong is your car lets you down, and you just feel every downshift, every rev on the throttle. And when we first heard Leclerc complaining, I thought, oh, it's classic. He's winning a race.
Yeah.
He's just thinking car hold together, and he's thinking, but obviously this one, not the case. Now, Hamilton's saying the downshifts are clunky, just obviously not sinking in as quickly as he would have liked. But his pace is, well, it was slow on that last lap. Did he have a bit of traffic? Maybe. Don't think so, actually. So his pace was slow. He's now got traffic from Antonio Giovinazzi ahead. It was 2 seconds slower than Bottas, but he has got a huge gap to his teammate who's in third. Of course, Leclerc is still second, but has no hope of keeping that position. As Kevin Magnussen in the Haas, he's down in 15th, but he's unlapping himself, and now Bottas in the silver Mercedes can spot Leclerc's Ferrari, and Leclerc's struggling to drive the car as well, just oversteering into every corner. And to make matters worse, he's going to have that Mercedes sweeping through probably on the next lap or this one. He's coming so quickly, Bottas, and Verstappen still 7 seconds behind will have him as well before the end of the race. I don't think Vettel will.
No, I think Leclerc will still finish in front of Sebastian Vettel. Leclerc coming through turn 8 now. Vettel's only just come past the main grandstand and commentary boxes down towards.
With this pace, no catching?
Yes. He's 40 kph down in car speed in a straight line. He's 40 kph down in car speed in a straight line.
40 kph down, so what's that, a good 25, 28 miles an hour?
Yeah, and that's why he's got no chance to A, do a quick lap, B, to defend. And it's just in the other person's shoes, in Verstappen's, what a lovely feeling. You're in fourth, you're heading to he's not the most boring race in the world, Max Verstappen. Vettel's spun himself out of contention. He's now down in fifth and still miles away, and no chance to challenge. And Verstappen has just got a podium place coming to him. It's a lovely position. Bottas now right on the tail of Leclerc. Here we go.
Through the right-hander at turn 14, out onto the start-finish straight again. There's 0.8 of a second between Leclerc in second and Bottas in third, but with an extra 30 miles an hour or so at 200 miles an hour, that makes quite a big difference. Valtteri Bottas sweeps through and moves up into second position in the Bahrain Grand Prix. Mercedes running a 1-2, and there are despondent faces in the Ferrari garage, mechanics and engineers all on the brink of tears as they watch what is unfolding in front of them, and not even a podium celebration it looks like being for Charles Leclerc. If he finishes fourth, it'll still be his best Formula One result of all time.
And he will take no joy from it whatsoever, you can guarantee that. He had the race win in the bag, and Bottas swept through. Verstappen's the next man in the Red Bull, who's it's just a matter of time. And then there's that 26-second gap back to his teammate Sebastian Vettel. Vettel knows this feeling. 2010 Bahrain Grand Prix, this track, he was leading for Red Bull on the season that he won his first title in the end, and he lost the race when I think he finished fourth in the Red Bull that weekend and missed out on a podium. But he knows this feeling as well.
Oh, Hülkenberg's out. Race over for Nico Hülkenberg down on the exit of turn 1. He was battling hard with the likes of Norris and Raikkonen, so whether they've come together or whether the Renault has pulled off, and Ricciardo's off too. Both Renaults retire with 3 laps to go.
Wow, both from in the points. Hülkenberg was running in 6th.
And both at the same part of the circuit. Have they come together?
No, they weren't running near each other on the track. Ricciardo was just fighting to try and stay in the points. He had Albon closing in. Well, 10 seconds for going much quicker than him. Hülkenberg was running a really, really nice race in 6th. Here's Ricciardo.
Everything just cut out.
So Ricciardo saying everything just cut out. Ricciardo had a similar incident here last year. Let's listen to this. Into 8th gear, onto the brakes into turn 1. There's a yellow flag because his teammates just pulled off the track.
Everything just cut out.
That I have ever seen in Formula One. If Hülkenberg's had exactly the same. And here is Hülkenberg down into turn 1. Oh no, that's a bit different for Hülkenberg.
That's an engine.
Yeah.
That's an engine for Nico Hülkenberg, just as he hit the brakes and went for a downshift. That engine went pop, and
but that is the bizarre safety car deployed. Safety car deployed, and that's a disaster for Charles Leclerc unless the race finishes under safety car, which it may do because we've only got a couple of laps to go, in which case it can be great news for Charles Leclerc because he'll keep his podium and the fastest lap point, and just to point out, Bottas will lead the championship if it finishes like this because of the fastest lap he got in Melbourne 2 weeks ago.
So Leclerc's got a podium or nothing now from this race, depending on the job of the Bahraini marshals. That is literally what it comes down to for him. Unbelievable stuff from.
Oh God, something happened with the engine.
Scenario 12 is too late.
You gotta be kidding me.
Unfortunately not. You did a great job there. Really sorry.
I want to, because they've already touched in the race at that exact corner as well. So how quickly can these marshals clear the car, because they are on their penultimate lap now?
I think they're trying to kill the car at the moment. I'd be surprised.
Yeah, they're not getting on with it. They've got rubber gloves on, so they're worried about the charge.
Yeah.
And getting an electric shock, basically, the marshals. They're not going near the car, and this is marvellous news for Charles Leclerc, because that doesn't look like it's going to be going anywhere too soon, and the safety car has to remain out then.
Wow, what a Bahrain Grand Prix. Some of the most good F1 race in recent memory, just in terms of pure good racing. There's been until now, there's not been a single safety car. All the good races.
Wow, the grip is really low, you see it?
It's been an excellent motor race.
It's been an absolute thriller, and I have to say the racing has been good because the cars can follow each other.
Yeah.
And I know DRS has helped with a lot of overtakes, but it only helps if the drivers can get within the DRS zone easily as well, and it's not been an absolute fly-by overtake. They've had to do it on the brakes.
Well, Hamilton versus Vettel was brilliant stuff.
Exactly, and you know, we've seen a few touches here and there. The drivers been scrapping for their lives, and I don't think anyone's picked up a penalty for any of those collisions either. There's been a lot of racing incidents, but I think we're in for a great season based on that. I think it's been what a thriller. Yeah, we're on the penultimate lap. We're about to go on to the final lap now. Hamilton, the race leader, coming through sector 3, and this race is not going to restart, I don't think. Hamilton's going to win it, and Leclerc, I'm so pleased he can hang on to that podium at least. I still don't think he'll be satisfied with it, but at least he will have
The race will finish like this, most likely.
Yet, not sure.
Well, it will, because the safety car is not coming in on this lap, and they're about to start the final lap. There comes the safety car round the final corner, and it starts the final tour of this Bahrain Grand Prix circuit in Sakhir, and it will finish behind the safety car. A slightly anticlimactic end to the Grand Prix, but anyone with a bit of a heart will be pleased for Charles Leclerc that it hasn't all been taken away from him.
And the hope that Max Verstappen had, yeah, Max, you'll easily get him before the end of the race. Oh, no,
yeah,
you're not. You're
no
going to
rush.
be so close. He'll be willing the marshals to do a really quick job, but they're not even near Ricciardo's car. The flashing red light is on, and that signals that it's not safe to go and touch the car. That's why the marshals were all there with their rubber gloves, and they've now backed away from it for fear of an electric shock. Basically, the car just switched off, and it's in an unknown state, and no one dares to go.
Somehow a lot slower than the other cars. I mean, Verstappen, oh no, okay, he backed off now.
Yeah, so Hamilton leads, Bottas second, Leclerc third, Verstappen fourth, Vettel fifth, Norris, Raikkonen, Gasly, Albon, Perez the top 10, Giovinazzi, Kvyat, Magnussen, Stroll, Russell and Kubica, the 16 runners. Hülkenberg and Ricciardo bizarrely out of the race at the same time. Carlos Sainz 19th, Romain Grosjean 20th, and there we go. That's the end of the runners. Sainz and Grosjean not making it to the end of the Grand Prix either. Matthew Stokes has just checked in on the. He doesn't know. He's just tweeted this at BBC F1. Just checked in. Mercedes 1-2. Same old, same old. So I don't think he's actually paid attention to the Grand Prix there.
It's been anything but, hasn't it? But it is the same old result.
Okay, Lewis, so the safety car is going to come into the pit lane, and that's going to be a checkered flag.
Championship battle. If Ferrari appear to have the quickest car, Mercedes to be winning the first 2 Grand Prix is great for the battle.
Okay, Lewis, so the safety car is going to come into the pit lane, and that's going to be a checkered flag.
So that's it, confirmed by Peter Bonington. The safety car will come into the pit lane, and that will be the end of the Bahrain Grand Prix.